All right, man, peace. So, brothers, I often state, especially in regards to the NBA, that one of the prime mistakes that so many teams make is trying to play like the team that is successful. You have to play according to your personnel. And that brings us to the Dallas Cowboys, who at one point in the NFL season were 3-5. They recently ran off 4 straight games due to the growing synergy between their quarterback, Dak Prescott, and their newly acquired wide receiver, Amari Cooper, as well as the play of their unbelievable defense. And I'm already on record as stating that, in my view, the Dallas Cowboys have the best front seven in the entire NFL. I've been saying that for a long time now. They also have an extremely underrated secondary. For a long portion throughout this season, Byron Jones, their cornerback, was the number 1 ranked cornerback in the NFL. I'm not quite sure if he still is. Well, the Dallas Cowboys recently had a chance to gauge exactly how good they are by squaring off against the New Orleans Saints, a team who was deemed by many as being the best team in the NFL. Well, the Dallas Cowboys were able to defeat them. Not only did they defeat the New Orleans Saints, but they defeated them in rather dominating fashion. Of course, the score was close, but had it not been for a series of mistakes by their special teams and by their quarterback, this game could have been a shutout very easily. So anyway, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
The Cowboys have a good defense.
Tell you something, Molly.
That defense right there, Will.
That's championship level defense. So are the Cowboys the best team in the NFL right now? I'll pump the brakes.
Okay.
No, they're not the best team in the NFL right now. But when we're talking about all 3 phases, they're right there with anybody. I'm not going to call them the best because I think that they're not going to quite have the offense to keep up with the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm not quite sure how they would look against the Kansas City Chiefs. But overall right now, they're playing the best of any team in the league, and they truly understand how to play defense. Their linebackers, they just fly around the football field.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of rationality and objectivity in me, but let me tell you something.
Super Bowl contender?
I don't know if y'all watched last night. That's a contending team.
Yeah.
That's a Super Bowl contending defense. They have a Super Bowl defense.
That is a Super Bowl contending defense. That is a Super Bowl contending team.
Yeah.
I'll just leave you with this. 2 things died last night. 1, Stephen A's bloviating in Seoul.
Yeah.
And number 2, the idea that you can't win in the NFL with defense and a running game. What we learned last night is what Arnold Schwarzenegger learned in The Predator. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
I like that.
The Cowboys made the New Orleans Saints bleed, and they showed these high-powered Kansas City Chiefs, Los Angeles Rams, New Orleans Saints offense not the only way to win in the NFL.
Well, look, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I've been saying about Drew Brees for a very long time that he's not in my top 10 all-time greatest quarterbacks. Due to the season that he's having, I have to inject him into that top 10. But once again, he showed last Thursday how he becomes once you get a little bit physical with him. Drew Brees is not a quarterback who's going to make something out of nothing. Things have to be clicking for him.
So you need a quarterback also to make plays on 3rd down. Dak was that guy yesterday, and so they won. But it was also the Saints on the road. The Saints due for a loss. And by that I mean, to maintain the kind of intensity it takes for them to do what they've been doing. Very few teams that have ever existed have done that over the course of an entire season.
I agree with that, Max Kellerman, but here's the problem. The Saints need to have the best record in the NFC so that they can have home field for the entire playoffs. Because I just don't see them going out to L.A. and defeating the Rams in L.A. I just don't see it. I mean, you never know, but I don't see it. Now, if they were to have home field throughout the playoffs, I would be hard-pressed to think of a team that I would make the favorite in New Orleans. I could see the Rams going into New Orleans and winning, but they would not be the favorites.
So when might they lose to a good defense on the road, on a Thursday night, on a week where the quarterback is due to make some plays on 3rd down, which he did, with a very motivated coach who's coaching for his job, so he's finally giving his best player the ball a lot. Those things all lined up to get the Cowboys.
Really, Max Kellerman? So you're saying that the reason why the Dallas Cowboys gave Ezekiel Elliott the football is because Jason Garrett is coaching for his job? Jason Garrett is the same guy who many of you NFL pundits claim must have something on Jerry Jones because seemingly there's nothing that can get him fired. But now all of a sudden, the reason why the Cowboys won, and please, let's make it very, very clear, I'm not a Cowboys fan. Because there's always some dude in my comments who believes that anytime I speak the truth about a certain team and that truth happens to be a positive, that it's because I'm a fan of theirs. I hated the Cowboys in the 1990s. I'm just going to call a spade a spade. They have an extraordinary defense. Right now they have an incredible running back in Ezekiel Elliott. They have a wide receiver who is simpatico to their quarterback. So right now everything is clicking. But I think that they matched up with the New Orleans Saints very, very well. Very well. Especially the speed and the physicality of their defense totally threw the Saints off balance.
Cowboys win. But you know what? It occurs to me, Stephen A. Will is not all the way there, but I notice this about a lot of Cowboys fans. They're almost like Jets fans. They get so high after a win.
Well, they're hopeful. Because remember, a lot of them grew up in the 1990s, where the Dallas Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls and very easily probably could have won 4 or 5, even 6, had they not fired Jimmy Johnson.
So low after a loss. But right now, I know part of the pleasure that you will experience eventually in this season, or postseason, Stephen A., is the heights from which they will tumble, the Cowboys fans. Their emotions. Look at Will. They're riding so high. They're Super Bowl
the
contenders
Saints.
all of a sudden.
Most people's favorite to win the Super
Kind
Bowl.
of like a Jets fan.
Yeah, you have to give the Cowboy fans, their time to shine right now and be happy. Nobody thought that they were going to beat the Saints. I was surprised when I saw the score. I did not catch the game. I was mildly surprised, but I wasn't shocked because I knew what the Dallas Cowboys were coming into the game with. They were coming into the game with the most underrated defense in the NFL.
Slaying giants.
First of all, you're not wrong. You're not right about that.
Where's that coming from?
The Dallas Cowboys are not like Jets fans. They're more like cockroaches. A nuclear bomb could drop
Cockroaches stick
rats,
around
and
when
a
it
Dallas
gets tough.
Cowboy
Where are
fan
you?
will come out. That's what it is. Well, actually, I'm in L.A. because there's a heavyweight championship fight tomorrow night. I'm going to be here for that. And obviously, and I'll tell you something else. Even if I were not here, Will, do you know where I would be? I still wouldn't be in New York. I'd have been right back where I was yesterday. Those Dallas Cowboy fans in Texas Live. That's exactly where I would have been. I would not have hid.
I would have killed to have seen that. I would have loved to have seen the aftermath of the Cowboys being successful in their game against the New Orleans Saints and have Michael Irvin come back sweating through 3 layers of attire, pumping up the Cowboy fans.
I would not have run.
Would've,
I would have been
could've,
right
should've.
there in the aftermath. As a matter of fact, as I reflect on it, I actually regret it. What I should have done was stayed there to do the show from there this morning, just to hear them fans bloviating, running their mouth, acting like this is their Super Bowl, like this is what is going to indicate you're going to win a Super Bowl. You're not going to do a damn thing. Last night was special on the part of the Dallas Cowboys defense. I have nothing to say about the defense, Will. I have to confess. They're a top 2 defense in the NFL, number 3 against the run, number 7 against the pass. Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, those dudes are special at the linebacker spot. DeMarcus Lawrence backed up every word that he said.
Right now, if you're Jerry Jones, you have to try to sign Dak Prescott for about $18 to $20 million a year, because you are going to have to pay those defensive players if you plan on keeping them and maintaining the superlative level at which they're currently playing.
They were putting pressure on Drew Brees all night long. I got to give props where it was due. Byron Jones and the rest of the crew were physical in the secondary. They certainly were better than what we saw from New Orleans secondary, whether it's Lattimore or Eli Apple, who got burned.
Eli Apple is a bum, a complete bum. And I knew that he was going to be a bum from the moment that I saw his mother make her first guest appearance on the Michael Smith and Jamel Hill show. And of course, ESPN trotted her around all of their TV shows, trying to act as if she was some expert on sports or motherhood, etc., until it was eventually revealed what she truly was, that being a liberal African woman, running around sleeping with her husband's best friend, and of course turning on her husband and showing her true viper nature. So, of course, her son is going to fall alongside with her, as most of these mama's boys do.
A couple of times, and he was getting picked on early. The bottom line is, as I look at the Dallas Cowboys defense, I got to give respect where respect is due, step back. But they only scored 13 points.
That's all they needed. I have news for you, Stephen A. Smith. Had they only scored 11 points, that would have been enough to win the game.
I mean, it's not like their offense sat up there and put on a show. It's not.
That's Will Cain's point. His point is that you don't have to win the game the New Orleans Saints style. And that's where so many teams fail. Not just in the NFL, but in the NBA. They try to outplay the opposing team at their style. And you should never be trying to do that. You have to figure out what you do well and accentuate that.
It's not like the New Orleans Saints got blown out. They still had an opportunity with 2 minutes left to win this game. And Will, I'm going to go your route. If you're being honest, you know how you ask that question sometimes. If you're being honest, when Drew Brees got that ball back with a little over 2 minutes left, you weren't nervous? I believe you were. Because I believe most people in America thought, Drew Brees is going to find a way to win this game. But in the end, it didn't happen. The defense stepped up and handled their business. Their offense was not that great. I still don't view them as a contender. I still don't view them as a team that's going to make some noise.
Well, I would not call the Dallas Cowboys a contending team if we're talking about Super Bowl. But they're a team on the come up. You better believe that.
And I still don't view them as a team that's going to win a playoff game. Now, if they got to go against one of those two teams, New Orleans or L.A., that's where I'm at.
All right, you know I'm honest. I'm always honest. I mean, can't accuse me of not telling.
Let me say this very quickly. Could I see the Dallas Cowboys winning their first playoff game, presumably at home, in the first round? Yes, I could. In the second round, could I see them going to L.A. or New Orleans and winning a game? No. But would I give them a chance? Yes. I would give them probably a 20% chance, maybe even 25 to 30% chance to win in New Orleans, and probably about a 15% chance to win in L.A.
The truth around here, Did I think Drew Brees was going to march down the field with 2.5 minutes to go? Absolutely. Look, I didn't predict a Dallas Cowboys win last night. I don't come out here taking victories where I didn't earn them. But I'll tell you this, I did tell you a couple things that you are admitting some regrets on. You admitted regret on not being in Dallas. You ought to have...
The Dallas Cowboys have unbelievable team speed in their front seven. When you have Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, this kid Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, in your front seven, wow.
I have some regrets about questioning the quality of this defense along the way. I told you early on in the season, I told you several times that it was a top 5 D. Honestly, I was wrong. It's a top 3 D.
Absolutely.
It may be the best D in the league. I told you, and Tank Lawrence told you, that the philosophy would be punch them in the mouth. They did exactly that. You ought to have regrets about doubting all of those things. Now, about the Dallas Cowboys offense, really quick.
And if they're able to develop that kid Taco Charlton, watch out.
Really quickly. They left points on the board. I heard Louis Riddick talk about this on Get Up this morning. It's absolutely true. The game wasn't even as close as 13.
No, it wasn't.
Absolutely. That was not a 13-10 game. That's what I mean when I say the Dallas Cowboys, they physically dominated the New Orleans Saints.
It wasn't.
The penalties were bad on both sides. The Saints fans, you can complain about calls, but no more than the Cowboys fans. Dak Prescott missed a wide open Michael Gallup for a touchdown, wide open. That, and by the way, they sat on it at the 1 yard line at the end that would put another touchdown on the board. This was more impressive on the Cowboys' behalf than 13-10. There it is.
Agreed. And just think about this. As he stated, Dak Prescott missed a wide open Mike Gallup for a touchdown, and Dak was 24 of 28 in passing.
There is no doubt about
It was, and I also thought, I didn't know the Cowboys would win. I thought they had chances, but I thought it would be like a one-score-ish game late, which it was. I didn't expect the score to be that low, but let's not get carried away. A big part of this was the fact that the Saints were playing on the road. That's a big part of this.
Well, I have news for you, Max Kellerman. There's a rather high probability that the Saints are going to have to play on the road should they get to the NFC Championship game. Most likely in L.A. As a matter of fact, it would have to be in L.A. if they were playing on the road in the playoffs. But I do believe that the L.A. Rams are going to end up with a better record than them.
They're not going to go undefeated the rest of the season. They're going to lose a game. You look at a game like this, a defense which may be peaking for Dallas too. Maybe they can sustain it, but we will see, just like with the Rams.
Their defense has been good all season.
Just like with the Saints, hot teams, when you get hot, matters in the NFL. But against a peaking defense on the road, on a Thursday night, with a ball control offense, if they were going to lose a tight game, maybe this one was a good candidate. It's not a reason for Cowboys fans to go nuts right now.
No, it absolutely is a reason for Cowboys fans to go nuts. Because nobody thought that they were going to defeat the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, once again, have pretty much become the belle of the ball on many of these NFL debate shows. So give the Cowboys credit. They deserve it.
Well, let me tell you, they are, Cowboys fans are going nuts. The only thing that I would say to you is this, Will, because I got something I need to show y'all both in a second. But Will Kane, the only thing I would say to you is this. Excuse me, I got to own this. I've always respected the Dallas Cowboys defense this year, but I thought they would get their behinds kicked last night. I really
You said
thought they-
50.
Drew,
You said 50.
I said 45. 40.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith predicted that the final score of the game between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys would be 45-21.
45-20.
They would've gotten to
was my
15.
prediction.
They would've won.
I thought they were going to get annihilated by Drew Brees' offense, and they did it, okay? So I give y'all credit for that, but there is a silver lining in all of this. We got Cowboy fans out there. You know, I'm calling them out too. Allen Iverson, Omar Epps, and could y'all watch this video because it was sent to me an hour ago? Look at this.
I don't know.
Look at this. Just watch. Just watch.
Oh, it's the zoophile himself, Jamie Foxx, the guy who loves to sleep with animals, allegedly.
Just watch.
Only one man would have the audacity.
You'll see it. You'll see it in a second. Just keep watching.
Jamie Foxx is also the person, I believe, who Foxy Brown stated had sex with her without her permission when Jay-Z lured her into a dark room, and suddenly Jamie Foxx was there, and she ended up being compelled to have sex with both Jay-Z and Jamie Foxx at the same time. This is according to Foxy Brown.
Got some moves, got some Prescott, got some Elliott. Jamie.
You see what I'm
All these guys in Hollywood are nothing but a bunch of damn nut jobs.
saying?
I see what
This
you're
is the kind of
saying.
stuff that I got to deal with.
This
This
is
this is what I mean by nauseating and disgusted fan
Harold
base.
to-
Because you would think that
Remember, Jamie Foxx rose to prominence on the television show In Living Color, and his most famous character was a transvestite.
the Cowboys won a Super Bowl last night. So what I'm saying
That
is there's
was
a
their
silver
Super Bowl.
lining in
Jamie,
all
I
of
got
this.
you.
And you know what the
Sherman,
silver lining is?
Sherman,
You're set up to fail. You're right now, y'all are hyped. Y'all are ready to go to the Super Bowl, ain't y'all? I'm telling you, the
I got
fall is coming. You will
I got-
not win a playoff game. You
I
will
got
not
one
win a
final
playoff game.
Okay.
Remember I said that.
Whoa. Boom! What is
Won't
that?
win a
What
playoff
was
game.
that? I don't know. This bird had a shit. Oh, it's crow for breakfast. Look at that.
That's true. That's true.
Knock it down.
That's
Bring
true.
it onto the table. We
That's
got
true.
crow for
You
breakfast.
got me.
Can I ask you,
You got me.
really
You
quick?
heard him say they won't win a playoff game, though. I just want to make sure you got that on the record.
Right. Oh,
Now, the Cowboys, they'll win a playoff game because, you know, in the first round, in the wild card round, because they'll most likely win the division, at least as of right now. They're on pace to win their division. They're going to get a home playoff game in the first. So I think that they're going to win at least one playoff game, you would think. But we'll find out what happens from here, because the margin for error for the Cowboys is very slim. They're only a game up on the Washington Redskins as of tonight. The Redskins are playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and both those teams are hot on the Cowboys' tail.
oh, I appreciate you getting it on the record. I do. Right now, his word doesn't carry much weight with me on Cowboys predictions, but I appreciate you putting it on the record. You guys like to ask me questions from time to time. It's the nature of our relationship. I just have one question for the three of you guys, okay? It's easy. I don't want much time of you. I just want one simple answer,
Yeah.
okay? You can answer too if you want, Stephen A. How about them Cowboys?
I remember when Jimmy Johnson first said that dumb shit. As a matter of fact, I remember when the Cowboys, I can't remember who they were playing, but it was a nationally televised game. It might have been the Giants, because they actually had, it was one of those games where after the game they had the camera in the locker room. Jimmy Johnson said that stupid shit.
Fired up.
Gotta give it up,
I'm
Stephen A. They played a hell of a game.
I'm going to remember this. Y'all got me today. I'm coming for all of y'all Cowboy fans over there.
No one's
I'm
scared
telling
right
you,
now,
I'm
though.
coming for every one of y'all. I'm taking
Cowboys
names,
fans,
too.
Stephen A. Smith, when he talks about the Cowboys, he reminds me of that character of Quinn in Jaws. Remember how much Quinn hated sharks? That's how Stephen A. Smith hates the Cowboys.
enjoy
I'm
your
taking,
Super Bowl.
oh, let me not
while
forget
it
Charlie
feels
Mack,
good.
Will Smith, boy. Him, too. He did predict the Cowboys will win last night. I got it. I see everybody. I'm a find y'all. I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
It's
Just
gonna
not
be
today.
it's gonna be
Hey,
good.
will the,
It's gonna be
will the
epic.
Cowboys win a playoff game this year, Stephen A?
Hell no.
He
Well,
just
there you
said
go.
it.
It's all right.
Just said it. Yeah. All right. We'll leave it there. All right.
But anyway, that's basically it on that. I've been very impressed by how the Dallas Cowboys have played the last 3 weeks especially. They're on a 4-game winning streak, but how they played the last 3 weeks or so has become more and more impressive because of how they're winning. You can tell that it's not a fluke. They're being led by their defense and an understanding in regards to their play calling of who they have on their roster. So we'll see how things develop for the Cowboys in the latter end. Peace.